What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another one. Welcome to Back to the Classics, the cinematic movie podcast that takes you back to the iconic films of 20 years ago. I am your host, Jay Alonzo, and with me is my guy,
Kay Williams. What's going on, Jay?
Kay, I made it. I survived Atlanta. Yes, I did.
You think you did, but you really didn't. You know why?
Yeah.
Because once you leave Atlanta, it resonates with you. Ooh, deep. Snap fingers on that one. You ain't going nowhere. It's like a drug, man. Atlanta is a drug.
I have my
come down here and get a taste, bro. You want to come back. It's like getting your first tattoo.
I have my battle wounds. You know, I'm not going to flex. I got my battle wounds. But the one thing about Atlanta that I just thoroughly appreciate, it is literally 15 women to one male in that city. That's unheard of to me.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
You know, a lot of from what I've been told, because, you know, I'm from Detroit. So when I first moved down here, I was told that a lot of the guys here, like, women don't really mess with dudes who are from Atlanta because they're fearful of them either being straight gay or on the DL. So that's why a lot of girls from Atlanta, a lot of women from Atlanta date guys who live here but are not from here.
Right, exactly. And if you want to know more about my Atlanta trip, just get at me on Facebook. You know how to find me. But we have a guest on today, very special guest, the first of its kind, a very dear friend. Right. A very dear friend. We met back in Los Angeles, and I followed her work ever since. Make some noise for multidisciplinary artist LEBohemian Muse. What's going on, Miss Lady?
Hi. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Welcome to the show. We are super happy to have you. I was glad I could finally get you on to the show. And then when you actually, decided what movie you wanted to do, you chose probably one of the best movies ever. So I had to get you on the show. You know what I'm saying? It had to go down that way. But
definitely.
Before we get into the movie, we have some questions for you collectively. So let's start off with explain to us what is a multidisciplinary artist.
So a multidisciplinary artist is basically an artist that does more than one particular thing or one particular artistry. So it's quite common if you are an artist to always be labeled as just the one thing you're known for. So if you're a painter, they just like to see you as a painter. So one of my intentions coming out into the world and revealing my artistry was to segue to make sure they know that from the jump, I do more than one thing.
Right.
So I paint, I write, and I perform. So ergo, or my tagline is LEBohemian Muse, artist of multiple personalities. And I bring first these characters that showcase each one of the different talents that I have.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Right. So you got like a multi-personality that works each talent?
Yes. Basically. So you have the actress. Clearly, she's the actress of the group, the performer.
Right.
You have the writer, who is the poet, the writer, the deep person. And then you have the painter, who is, I usually categorize her as the shy one because she speaks through her work. So she prefers not to really speak in front of people, but to let her work speak for her.
Okay. She just got deep.
That's dope.
That's very deep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let me ask you, what inspired you to go down this path? And furthermore, how has your past experiences affected your current state?
So what brought LEBohemian Muse in the first place is a funny story because about a few years ago, I started a theater company called Bohemian Muse. And that influence came from my time studying at BADA in England. Mm-hmm. And we had a guest speaker who was David Schwimmer. Mm-hmm. And David Schwimmer spoke about when he came out of college, his friend started what's called the Looking Glass Theater.
David Schwimmer.
And it's still a prominent, David Schwimmer.
The neurotic legend himself.
Yes. Who was actually pretty cool and down to earth when we saw him as he was one of our like master teachers teaching us like a class today with Saffron Borough.
Right.
And he was talking about how him and the homies after college wanted to, start work. One of the things for artists is that sometimes, especially if you're in the acting world, it's always waiting on somebody to give you the opportunity to perform.
Right.
So instead, what his group of friends did was like, look, we want to perform, we want to make art, let's just make it ourselves. So they started the Looking Glass Theater. Mm-hmm. And I was very influenced by that and thought, you know what, but if I wanted to start something, let me start a theater company. So I called it the Bohemian Muse Theater Company. Now, it was on paper, but we never got to like jump off and do shows.
Okay.
So it sort of sat down on the pedestal, you could say, for a while. And then years later, as I wanted to sort of reemerge myself into society as the artist that I was becoming and evolving today, I needed an artist name, and Bohemian Muse still stuck. And so I then transferred to a singular person and called myself LEBohemian Muse.
Which is La for short.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm calling you La. Le.
Yeah, Le for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Le is the, which is hilarious because most people, it's the in French. And of course, many people kind of crack up and they're like, so you want people to call you the for short?
Do we call you B or we call you La?
Yeah, it's like Le. But the purpose, it's like saying the Bohemian Muse. And it's kind of more my factors of sort of influence is that I don't put, even though I'm personally identified as female, it's more identifying that anyone can be a Bohemian Muse. It is not just stick to me as an individual. And part of, one of my missions as an artist is to influence society, individuals as a whole, as the importance of art to one's life and to society. So I'm influencing everyone to sort of be their own Bohemian Muse. So by singling out and saying the, I make myself more general than, female or whatever specific identity someone wants to call me by.
So if we can all be our own Bohemian Muses, then that makes me and Kay, we're La Back to the Classics Bohemian Muses.
Exactly.
If that makes any kind of sense.
So I got a question for you, Le.
Yeah.
I would be Lay J.
Out of your different personalities, what is your favorite?
Good question.
I'm not sure if I have a favorite. I don't know if I have a favorite because everyone's pretty equal to me.
Okay.
The person that I probably enjoy being sometimes is the actress, and I think it's funny because she doesn't get to come out as much. Because for her to showcase her work, it takes a different set of processes to really get her to come out and perform in comparison to my delving deep in my writing as a writer and getting onto the canvas and painting as a painter. They're easier to express more fluidly, and I feel like the actress, I'll have my goofy moments of just performing or just being quirky in general in personality, but to really showcase her work, you have to like plan it and write it and get into a place for it. So when I do have that opportunity to be her, it's very enjoyable because there's a sort of freeing element that comes with her because you don't get to really be yourself. You're being someone else.
Right.
And that's always stimulating to be sometimes.
What motivates you to keep creating?
I think what motivates me to keep creating is the hope that creativity is such a positive necessity that I think is needed within humanity in general. I honestly believe that if more people created art, we'd have, it's like a hippie statement, but like a more peaceful world in a sense. Because I think it's a very powerful tool of communication. And I think it's harder for people to speak what they say and mean it, or it's just harder to really just communicate to people in general. So through art of various forms, it's just a beautiful way of communicating to the world or giving us a different perspective of things you can't see. So think of like any conversation you've had with a friend and you guys are having debates about an issue. And then that same issue could be translated in a film. But for some reason, you didn't hear it when you were talking with your friend, but that visual representation of that same debate is put on screen. And then for some reason, that opens up your eyes more than the conversation, the debate that you had.
Right.
And so I think it's essential to us as humans and as just, beings to really harness creativity because it's all instinctually within us. And so my drive is to always show the importance of that by setting an example first by doing it myself and then proceeding to muse others to do that as well.
Okay, let's talk about the actual art real quick. And this is a question.
Okay.
This is a question I've been looking forward to asking you because I'm actually the owner of an original LEBohemian Muse piece of art, which I'm very proud of. So
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of jealous, but that's cool.
Hey, bro, you gotta strike when that iron is hot, baby. You gotta know the right people. What piece of art are you most proud of? What creation did you create that will always be your favorite or just sticks out to you for a certain reason?
So the art that's really sticking to me now is actually the most recent work that I've done. Mm-hmm. It's my Chaos series. And the reason why I'm particularly drawn to the Chaos series right now is that it has definitely shown the evolution of my work, specifically as a painter. And the Chaos series is primarily about the beauty of chaos that is needed within a society. So you have the whole thing about yin and yang, about chaos and order. Like you need the both are opposites, but you need them.
Right.
And so I felt like we're in a state of chaos. We seem to always be in a state of chaos in humanity, but at the moment,
currently?
Yes. Shrink it down. Yeah, we're in a state of chaos. But I'm trying to beautify the positiveness in chaos because it's through that fire and after the ashes come down that you have the natural seeds for new growth, for order. Mm-hmm. And so this new series was about sort of personifying the beauty of chaos. And I worked on that series, and I even realized that completing it literally took me a year to complete all. I think I have a total of between 16 to almost 20 pieces. And it's just a lot of growth that happened within me creating that work. I paint for what I say is a stream of consciousness. So I have an idea of what I'd want it to look, but I let the painting speak to me and let it evolve as I continue working on it. Right. So I love that process of just seeing how the piece grows and then just working with whatever it comes with. And so that series at the moment is what I'm most proud of because it's definitely shown my growth as an artist, and I've been getting a lot of great positive feedback from people and having great conversations just by the various pieces. And I'm just it puts me more excited to see like where the next growth in the next series will be. That's
beautiful. That's
now,
great.
Question for you: how many series have you created?
That's a good one. Let's see. There was the visual poetry series, the Warrior series, the Warrior Heart series, then Chaos. So I think I've created 4 series, but then I've also created a lot of different random paintings in between. Like the piece that Jay owns was commissioned for me to create as a fundraiser. So I was experimenting with a couple of wood pieces, and so they were their own individual pieces. So probably 4 concrete series, but then I still have a lot of other paintings that were like just individual or, commissions from people.
Okay.
Make some noise for Bohemian Muse.
Gotta get it right.
Eventually, I was going to get it right. I promise. I was going to get it right. I promise.
It's all good.
So we thank you once again. We thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Let's get it into 2-minute drill, man. Who's ready for 2-minute drill?
Oh snap!
I am.
Let's do this.
Okay,
I am.
I'm ready for this.
Okay. So, La.
Le.
Get it right.
Lay. Okay, all right. So off air, you was like, "Don't call me Lay. It's La Lay." You know, very Pepe Le Pewish. Lay. Lay. All right. You are the guest of BTTC tonight, so you can do the honors of kicking out 2-minute drill for us. So when I start this clock and I say 2-minute drill starts now, who is that question going to?
I'll kick it to you, Jay.
Kick it to me? All right, let's do it. 2-minute drill starts now.
What is Mr. Zorg's full name?
Zorg's full name. Oh, Jesus Christ. Isn't it like Emmanuel?
Close.
Shit. I know I'm gonna get it, but okay, wait. Let me think. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. Just ding me. Oh, it's Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Damn it. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
You gotta say it right. Jean-Baptiste
Emmanuel Zorg.
Yes.
He winning.
He's so dead.
All right, so this question goes to Kay. Kay, what does ectogamma mean?
Ectogamma.
Ectogamma?
Oh, you dirty skanky.
Ooh, I'm cold. I'm just cold, baby. I'm just cold.
I ain't even gonna lie. I think that was the joint where they put the Fifth Element back together, ain't it?
You can't be more wrong.
I don't know.
Ectogamma is actually in Lilu's language, never without my permission, because he tries to kiss her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's earned for you. Question is on K. What you got?
All right, this go to you, Jay.
All right.
What is the name of the weapon that was used to try and mug Corbin?
Oh, and I love that scene. Oh my God. Shit. I love that scene too. I can only visualize the dude bugging out in the scene. Oh my God. Oh, you got me there. And timer's done anyway, so screw it.
It's the Z140 deviated titanium no charge assault module.
I see you, Kay. Writing down the notes and shit. Go ahead, boy.
Man, you wrote down those facts. Ain't nobody gonna get that.
There's no way you knew that off top.
Hey, you hold it. You see what he did to me though? I had to come with one straw.
I was like, what is that?
Man.
Look. The other ones were very easy though. It was like how many times was the Z's asked to give light?
You know what? You know what? Lay, listen. Bonus question for you. How many times did Kay rewind that same part to make sure you got every word in that sentence about that gun? I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna say 10. Hold up, I got it. Oh shit, I knew I missed a goddamn word. Hold on. There it is. I got it.
You ready? I can answer that one. It was 3.
I know. You ain't slick.
Because I watched the first thing and I was like, dang. I think Jay gonna ask me that. Let me rewind that and write that down.
And I love that. That's my favorite scene. I love that scene.
Corny ass hat on.
That corny ass hat on. Give me the cash.
Corny ass hat on. It really is. You sit there like,
he
really?
was off his meds on that one.
Off his meds, he was tweaked out.
It was
you understand me?
So that made it hilarious.
That in nervousness, he know what to do. Like, no, dang it. I don't need it.
Exactly.
All right. For those of you who don't know what movie we're talking about, we're taking it back to 1997 once again to the, I guess we could say the Bruce Willis, Luc Besson directed cult classic. It has to be a cult classic now at this point.
It's definitely a cult classic.
I'd say so. We're taking it back to the Fifth Element, people. Before we get into our movie facts here, Lay, do you remember the first time you saw The Fifth Element?
Ooh, I think I do. I didn't see it in theaters. I know that for sure. I did not see it in theaters when it came out. I saw it at home, and I think we rented the movie
on handy dandy VHS.
The old school VHS.
Mm-hmm. Be Kind Rewind. Yeah.
When Blockbuster still existed.
R.I.P. to Blockbuster. R.I.P. to
Yeah.
Hollywood Video. R.I.P. to all the homies, in the rental tape days. You know what I'm saying? The gang just fell apart.
Mom and pop videos.
Yeah,
exactly. Man. All of that.
The gang just fell apart, man. You know what I'm saying? They all go.
5-star rentals.
5-star rentals. We had
that was our neighborhood.
We had video box. We had a video box, and we had a video update and a video time. So, but the time was spelled Tyme, and the only thing about video time was when you go up in there, they never have what you expect them to have. They always have Uber copies of shit you really just don't want to watch. So they were good for that. And it was always like the better video store was like half a block up the street. Like, I don't want to walk all the way the fuck up there for idle hands. I don't want that, so. But, Kay, same question, man. What's the first time you seen Fifth Element?
It was definitely on VHS. My dad, he actually was on the road, and he brought that home on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it. I think I actually broke it because I watched it so much. I watched it so much. I used to know what Chris Tucker was saying when he first meet Corbin. I used to do that whole scene at home. Like, that's how much I watched it.
It's funny.
Now I know like half of it. Just off of watching.
Oh no! I still know it pretty good, like word for word. But I was on Facebook earlier today, and Fathom Events is doing the 20th anniversary screening tonight. I want to say for the Fifth Element, so they're putting it back in theaters for one night only, which is super dope. And so they put up this poll. They put up this poll, and basically they're rating their favorite character from the movie, and of course the person with the most votes is Ruby Rod. So Chris Tucker is Ruby Rod, and it really does go to show as metrosexual. Because you can't call him gay, because obviously in the movie he shows he's definitely not gay. However,
he's right, he definitely was,
but he has this real metrosexual vibe to him, and he sticks out. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I understand that people wanted to make Ruby Rod their favorite character, because like when he's on screen, he steals the scene no matter what's going on. So for me, the first time I seen Fifth Element, much like you guys, was definitely a Be Kind Rewind situation. And I believe it came in a box where it had the three floating heads, the Bruce Willis, the Mila Jovovich, and Gary Oldman. And I remember when I first watched it, I'm like, this movie is so fucking weird, but I love it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. But the movie itself plays out so odd. You know what I mean? But the older you get, you do gain that appreciation for it. Especially if you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it in a long time, you do tend to gain that appreciation for it. But overall, I've always thought this movie is fucking weird. You know what I'm saying? Always.
I love, man. I mean, I don't never think it's weird. Like, I haven't never thought that it was a weird movie, but it definitely.
Debo is the president, Kay. That's not weird to you?
Yeah. Hey, man.
What you think?
Look,
Debo's the president.
After you watch Friday, you see Debo get beat up with the brick. I mean, it's kind of hard to take him serious as president.
It really was. I think I saw Friday before I saw Fifth Element, so I remember seeing him. I was like, he's nice. He smiled. Like, legitimately?
Like he's like the leader of the free world? Like the same dude that robbed Smokey them the other day? But
right,
but and that's actually one of my notes. I said Debo is the president, and a question mark next to it.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that was one of my notes too.
I was like, so let's address this real.
I said Tiny Zeus.
Let's address this really quickly. Debo is president. Okay, that's almost as worse as Donald Trump. Yeah, Whatever.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so movie facts real quick. The Fifth Element original release date, May 7th, 1997. Shares opening weekend with the Billy Crystal, Robin Williams classic comedy, Father's Day. I'm not sure if I would call it a classic, but it was good.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been considered a classic.
Otherwise, we would have did it on the show, but we're not. Moving on. Box office total of $263.9 million on a production budget of $90 million. So they made some bread back. A whole lot of it. Mm-hmm. And the movie currently holds a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes. Is that fair?
That's accurate. That is.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. That was one of the first things I noticed, that it was like a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, or 72 as you said. And I was like,
Yeah, probably one of Luc Besson's like highest rated movies on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Did it be Professional?
No, I think Professional sits at like 85.
Okay.
So that's like the highest rated one, but as far as everything else. But then you really look at everything he's done since The Fifth Element, like a Lucy or what he's got coming up with Valerian and all that, which personally looks trash to me. But
agree.
He keeps, he definitely keeps pumping out stuff, But it's been a long time since we got that Luc Besson Fifth Element vibe from a movie. It's been a long time. And, I hope Valerian does well. I'm just not into the trailers at the moment, so just not into it at all. But let's kick off real talk. I don't even know who won 2 Minute Drill. We sure didn't keep a scorecard today, but. We're gonna kick off real talk. So as the
honestly, I think the person that won, I think it was a tie all around.
How
so you couldn't answer? No, actually, you would have been the winner.
Moi?
You answered Lay's question, but you didn't answer mine, and I didn't answer yours. So you would be the winner.
Oh, well, thank you, Kay. Let's get this thing going. No. I'm gonna definitely take this victory and put it on my wall because I earned it.
I need that stricken from the record.
Nope. But I'll kick it off. All good. This movie starts in 1914. Alien.
Bob to the bros.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. I forgot about that. Aliens known as they call them Mondoshawans?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They arrive at this ancient Egyptian temple to collect for safekeeping concerning World War I, and the only weapon capable of defeating a great evil that appears every 5,000 years. So let me touch base on these Shamanamanas, the Mondo Shamanamanas, right?
Mm-hmm.
These motherfuckers waddle so slow. Let me just get that out there real quick.
They did though.
They really did.
Slow waddle.
Do you remember?
Wobbling.
Do you remember the Super Mario Brothers, the movie with John Leguizamo?
Yep, I got it.
Remember the Goombas? Yeah. Little head, big bodies. That's what they are in this movie. I'm like, what? Like, bro, like it didn't take y'all. You didn't get here slowly. You got here pretty good. So why are you kind of moving like you got all day? You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't got all day. And so,
what happened if that was their run? That'd be some fucked up shit.
They would like stomp holes in like grounds across the world.
That was already his run though, because when he was trying to pass the keys, that was his wobble.
Yeah,
see,
he
was
like
already moving full throttle.
He was already running.
Now listen. I don't want to hear nobody telling me I'm body shaming the Mondo Shawanawanas or whatever. They move like very obese people. All right, if you really want to save the world, you get your big ass out that damn thing and you do what you gotta go do. Okay. So we now know that this weapon consists of 4 stones containing the energies of 4 classical elements, and a what do you call those things that mummies get buried in? Sarcophagus. There we go. Containing a 5th element in the form of a human, and that combines the power of the other 4 elements into a divine light capable of defeating the evil. So let me just bring up Luke Perry real quick. Kay, or better yet, do you want to take Luke Perry real quick? Because he fucks it up for everybody, by the way.
He was dumbass, man. He was sitting there sketching, not being serious. Then you have these aliens come in. He think he could take a gun, which I don't know why he thought that was smart, taking a gun to a bunch of dudes whose bodies is made out of metal.
Because they waddle, and he figured they're not going to catch him if he, if he really takes off running. So maybe he can let a shot off.
Yeah, fucking it all up. And then instead of just sitting down and maybe at first he was sketching, and I was like, okay, that's smart. Go ahead and sketch the evidence. But then he's just got his feelings hurt when the aliens put the homeboy to sleep. I don't even think he killed him. He got the impression that they killed the professor. I just got the impression that he put the dude to sleep.
That's what I thought.
Because he was seeing too much. Yeah, because that was his justification for taking the gun. He's like, well, but they killed the professor. It's like, just chill.
But he had to bear arms. He had to bear arms real quick. And no, look, they killed the professor. You didn't really confirm if he was even dead or not. So you're kind of jumping the gun, sir.
You didn't even check his pulse.
No, like, freeze! I have a gun!
Yeah. Ah! Well, they're all looking at you like, bruh.
Come on, bruh. Come on,
bruh.
Why would he bear arms? Like, why would you bear arms right now? Like, come on now. You see we waddling. You know what I'm saying? We can do nothing to you.
What you gonna do? They're looking at you like this really did some injury. Okay.
Would you really shoot a fat man in the street? Seriously? So, the Mondo Shawans promised their human contact a priest from a secret order that they will come back with the element stones in time to stop a great evil when it returns. So fast forward to what year are we in now? We're in 2263?
2214.
2214.
Only 300 years later.
No, it's
when did y'all see a date? It just popped up and said 300 years later.
Yeah,
but 1914.
But I think somebody in the president's staff mentions the years, and I believe it was 2263. I must not have heard that. Unless Luc Besson's math is off, which appears to be off, they actually mentioned the actual year of 2263, which is a bit more than 300 years later. But whatever.
Right.
Exactly. You know what? I thought I was the only one that saw that because I was trying to add that up. 300 years later, I was like, 300 years later don't make 2263.
No.
Where's that from?
That's 300 and
How
change.
the future is that? Yeah.
Right. It had only been 2214.
Yeah.
That's 2263.
Because 300 years later sounds better. You can't say 324 years later or no shit like that. You gotta say 300 years later. It sounds better. It rolls off the tongue better.
The mathematicians are tripping in the audience.
Yeah, there are no mathematicians. There were no mathematicians around when creating the script. That I can guarantee you. So it's now 2263, and we got our first glimpse at the president of this here world, and it's Debo, Tiny Zeus Lister, who he plays the president. Yeah. Now,
cockeyed, bad. He was like a monster when he was wrestling.
So, Kay, do you want to take it from there?
Oh, yeah. So now you got 2263, and we see the intro to Debo, the president. And we,
stutter. Can you hear me stutter?
About the evil. What is it? It's like a planet?
It's like a giant ball of like black fire.
But it also hardened itself. So it became like a hardened planet, like a moon.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the case. You got the planet-sized massive meteor that forms itself however it wants to. And the president is like, let's take it out. General, all gung-ho about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up shooting, 8 nuclear missiles to this thing? And
it grew bigger.
Size go 200%. That's crazy. That tells you right there nukes are not good. So anything that can blow a planet up 200%, I'll have stopped after one. All right, we done. Let's go home.
Now, to speak on that real quick, right? And this is not really part of the plot itself, but I thought it was just really cool, though. So, in that same scene, right, when Vito Cornelius, played by Ian Holm, he stands up to kind of give his 2 cents about what he knows is going on. He didn't, unless he gave somebody a card on the way in. When he stands up, the little machine or whatever, somebody announces who he is at that exact moment. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what technology do we have the way we can have that going on? Because I want somebody to be in my house.
You already know what it is.
I want somebody to be in my house and Lex be like, "That's Earl Jenkins from West Side Watts and blah blah blah." Like, I would love that. That'd be awesome.
But you already know what it is. I mean, it's been shown in older movies like Demolition Man. The only way they know who you are is by what? A chip. Gotta be chip. Same thing as when Bruce Willis was at home and he hopped in his taxi for the first time. And his taxi had the chip in it, the multi-pass.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different. Only because you expect cars or other automobiles to have that kind of feature. But if you just walk into a room and then you stand up and then some recording or somebody jumps on the mic and says your name and what you do, and you didn't give a card and nothing to nobody, but they immediately know who you are.
It's the chip. I'm saying it's the chip. The same thing in Demolition Man. Whenever anybody cursed, it said their name and they were fined for cursing. Got to be chip.
Got you. All right. Well, anyway,
and how old is Demolition Man?
95, 94 probably.
See,
definitely before Fifth Element.
I'm telling you, they were telling us we're gonna get chipped.
So, yeah, go ahead.
You got the evil returning in the form of a planet or meteor, however you want to say it, and then the military shoots 8 nukes, makes it grows 200% bigger, and then we after the military ends up getting destroyed by this meteor, and then we get introduced to the hero, man, Corbin Dallas. We get introduced, and he wakes up like on a hangover. To be honest, he was hungover. Once we get introduced to him, we got our favorite scene. Well, it's one of my favorite scenes, the mugging.
The mugging. Give me the cash! No, take it. I don't need it. That's a very nice hat. You like it?
That's always pure joy. Go ahead, man. I don't need it.
I'm telling you, that scene is just it gives me such joy because the dude is clearly on something or he's jonesing for something, right? And he can't really execute a proper robbery.
Yeah.
And you could just tell he's jonesing for something, But what kills me is though, once Corbin gets the gun, he just breaks off some random breakdance, like that's gonna soften the deal, like I'm not gonna kill you. Just like a random, it's all right, take it, I don't need it. It's like like what you dancing for? I done ran.
I just can't get over his dumbass hat.
The dumbass hat. However,
but you gotta think though. That hat was kind of dope because all he did was put his head up against the keyhole.
So it served its purpose.
How long was you standing there?
And how did you know he would look through the people and blend that hat with the back of the damn? So so in the passing hallway, people are looking at you with your head against somebody's door, hoping he'll see the fucking picture you have on your hat, basically. But he doesn't. He just opens the door.
I guess he live in a real bad area. He used to get mugged.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
He was up in the Bronx.
Definitely the Bronx. That's some Bronx shit.
Actually, no. Didn't he say he's in South Brooklyn? Didn't he say that's where he's actually from?
I think that's where the guy, his finger, the dude that works with him.
Oh, okay.
But I bet
The guy who he drive the taxi for.
right. I bet
Yeah.
neither one of you knew though that Finger's voice is actually Vin Diesel.
No, I actually
No, I didn't.
It's
I
a
didn't
Yeah.
catch that.
it's an
Now I'm
it's
about to
a
go
it's
back and
a
listen.
it's an uncredited vocal talent by Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of dope.
Cause see here on Back to the
That was when he
Classics,
first started.
the more you learn, the more you know.
Yeah, Joe.
You know, little reading Rainbow for you.
Knowing is half the battle.
Knowing is half the battle. So at this point, the Mondo Shawan's spacecraft is destroyed through the stone. Though the stones are not on board, the only item recovered is the hand of the fifth element. Scientists take it to a New York City laboratory and use it to reconstruct a powerful woman, or a humanoid, if you will, who takes the name Lilu, played by
The perfect sentient.
Milo Jovovich. And
I think you pronounced it Yakovich.
It is Yakovich.
really,
Yeah.
we must be too American, because usually when I hear her name, they say Jovovich.
Really?
I don't know.
Really?
Maybe. You know what?
See,
People
well,
look up
here
all
on Back to the
kinds of
Classics, like Jay said, knowing is half the battle.
Yeah. Yakovich. All right. We get that really cool ass scene though, because they have the technology to take just simply the arm of the fifth element and create a whole body around it, right? So the creation of that scene, the creation of Lilu, was like probably one of the dopest scenes ever, because that's where we're headed. We won't be here,
Yeah.
but in the next couple 100 years, that could be where we're headed. You know what I'm saying? And so when we literally watched them create Lilu, and then the one picture, you know, that they wake her up and she's confused. She doesn't really know what's going on. But she's so damn smart. She's able to convey a sentence at first in her own native tongue. Eventually down the road, you know, can actually speak English now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, question. All right, question on the floor. Since we're talking about this scene, what other movie have they had where it was like not necessarily the body was reconstructed, but there were machines that like instantly healed you? I know I've seen it on like Elysium.
Mm-hmm.
And of course this, but I think that's something that may be already out. We don't even be knowing about. Because you got to think these movies is old, where they're showing up future stuff that's already been done.
Right.
Food for the thought.
So who wants to like break a toe and see if you can get that done?
Nah,
Said nobody.
Go ahead and volunteer yourself, bro.
Nah, man. Nah, I'd rather just stomp
know how
that
that
joint
worked out.
and let it heal on its own, because I don't trust no machine, man. I just can't do it. But Lilu manages to escape the little chamber after. I don't think it was a hard hit, but she broke the glass, took the major, slammed his head against the wall. He passes out, and then she manages to get out.
Hey, now, did you pay attention to when she broke the glass?
What do you mean?
Did you notice that the glass was already formed? Like it already had cracks in it before she broke it?
No,
I didn't notice
see
that.
that one.
I did notice that.
I was going to say, when she's looking at the major and he's like, I mean, not at the major, when the doctor and the major are talking and he says it's impenetrable.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the glass, it's got a circle shape on it of a crack.
No, I never noticed that.
Then she busts through it.
But I did notice that when she finally got out,
is that pre-broken?
when she finally got out, she does run through like barbecue brown foil through the wall, which I thought was pretty legit wall, but it was like a foil. She just ran right through it. I was like, all right, so there's no real security in this place. That's what's up. So she crashes through. She's falling, and she crashes through Corbin Dallas's taxi, and we all know Corbett can't drive because he only has, at this point, 2 points left on his license. And just a simple crash
It was
itself.
3.
Okay, fine. He has 3 points left on his license. But with her crashing through his shit, he now has 2. So.
Technically, he started with 5.
He had 5?
Just throwing it out there. He had 5.
See, look at Lay paying attention.
He started with 5. Then he had the accident and dropped it down to 3. And then she crashed and dropped it down to 1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she crashes down into his car. He looks in his car and trying to figure out what the hell had just crashed in there. And then she's like peeping out on her pretty face. And of course, he's like, "Oh, damn, okay,
you're pretty."
He didn't say it. Yeah, pretty much.
Love at first sight. That was that love at first sight.
Literally that love at first sight. And so she's talking to him in her divine language, and he's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Popo pulls up. Popo pulls up, and she's telling him in his language at first, like, "Come on, let's roll." And he's like, "Oh, I can't do nothing about this." Then she translates it and starts to say the first English words, which is "please" or "help me." I think it's "help me."
It was please help.
Please. Please help.
Please help.
Please help.
Please.
I can't do nothing. I go on point on my license. He cooperates with the police at first. Cops are pulling in. And then she says it again. And then comes this fresh-ass car chase scene throughout.
Hey, the car scene, the chase itself was dope.
Yeah, the chase scene was super dope.
Yeah, like I think they should have did a Fast and Furious like that.
No,
like,
no. Kay, listen. You stop talking right now because you had me. I was down with you. Then all of a sudden you want to make a dumbass decision like turn a Fast and Furious movie to the fifth element.
Hold on. Listen. Don't they got? Isn't there talks about them doing another one
on the moon
or something like that? Yeah.
No.
Don't even do it on the moon.
No.
Look,
don't even do flying cars. Okay. Fast and the Furious has gone from a street racing movie to a James Bond episode, man. Like, listen. Keep them on the road. If they decide to go a route where they got flying cars, I'm done with Fast and Furious. I'm done. I will burn down Universal Studios myself. So
Fast and Furious Fifth Element?
Nah. Because technically we get all that shit and we still get Vin Diesel as Dom because it's all about family. No, it's not. It's not about family anymore. It's about flying fucking cars. This movie's stupid. No. So
I tried.
Yeah. We're gonna move past that for I bust a blood vessel right here. This is terrible. So eventually the police catches up with Corbin and Lilu. He decides to kind of break the law, take off with her, and he manages to get her over to Cornelius' spot and meets up with Cornelius and his apprentice, David, who is forever nervous about some shit. And he's a dude that always like shakes when he talks. Like no matter what you do, he's afraid.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where Cornelius learns that the Mondo Shawans entrusted the 4 element stones to the alien. I'm gonna truly mess her name up. Diva Plava Laguna. And I don't know why I would mess her name up because she could very much be getting my That Chick award. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Because when she breaks down in that, we'll get to it. But when she breaks down in that Prince vibe of an opera song, I was like, this shit is cold. Okay. So Zorg, at this point, he kills many of the Mangalores because of their failed attempt to get the stones. But the
exchange deal went wrong.
The exchange deal went wrong. But see, this is where I think Zorg is kind of cool because when he's breaking down that gun to them, I'm like, that's a cool ass gun. That's a dope ass gun, actually.
Bruh, but that gun had too much. It had too much, man. That's like what's that movie?
Beverly Hills Cop 3, when he had hella shit.
Cop 3. He had a fucking microwave on it. Like, come on, man.
Well, see, on that gun, that gun was too much. You know, you got for some reason, it shot a bag of sand at you, like, for fucking what? But, and they had a radio and a microwave. Like, dude, no. This gun, though, is dope because he said after your first shot, you can shoot that gun from anywhere and the target will still be hit. Like, oh yeah, that's dope.
The replay was dope.
Yeah, that's
was
dope. So,
but he went a little overboard after he started adding a net launcher, a flamethrower, an ice cube maker. Like, come on, man.
Nah, I'll take that gun over a bag of sand, like, you know, a gun that shoots hay and shit any day. So.
Also, it seems more befitting for those type of warrior aliens. They could use an all-in-one. If you're trying to invade a planet, you ain't got time to be like, yo, pass me the net. You know, it's just like, nah.
Yo, let me get that net over there.
It's like, yeah.
Yo, Red.
But for me, I was like, the replay was dope, the poison arrows was dope, and then the rocket launcher. Boom, that's a good-ass weapon right there.
But what about the net?
If
you're trying to catch something, you need a net.
Man, if you in war, you ain't trying to catch nothing.
Maybe they want some hostages, though.
Maybe they want a hostage
to negotiate. They could
that gun is all in one. Who gonna fight anything after a flamethrower?
Listen, if you don't have that net on that gun, then I mean the nearest player who has that net for you to use is like 4 or 5 dudes behind you. You're not gonna come up there soon enough before your target is gone. Red may just be out the bathroom or something, but you have the net on the gun. Come on,
that flamethrower would have burned the net before it even got to you. You should have stopped at that
Kay, you're being a negative Nancy, and I don't like it. Moving on.
Not using the flamethrower on the same person who catch it. That's all I'm saying.
Kay's being a negative Nancy.
Freeze them first, then catch them with the net. Then they can drag his ass, rather than the opposite. I figure if they're going to burn him, they're going to burn him. If they're going to use the net for capturing purpose.
So Zorg sets those guys up once they deliver a crate and there's nothing in it. And, they feel like, they want to be bossy. Like, hey, we risked our lives for this crate. You didn't say you want anything in it. Like, well, why the fuck would I actually go get a crate with nothing in it? But quick bonus question for Lay. Mm-hmm. Who plays Zorg's right-hand man?
Oh, I don't know the name of the actor.
He's more of a musician than an actor.
He's a singer? That guy's a singer? Mm-hmm. That one I did not know.
The black dude, right?
Yeah, the black guy, but I didn't know he was a singer. Who is he from?
Electronic musical artist Tricky.
Tricky.
Mm-hmm. He had a song called She Makes Me Want to Die that was on the Replacement Killer soundtrack, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah. Facts. Learn them.
I don't know that.
Oh.
You out here dropping jewels today.
You know what I'm saying? Facts.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah. So, upon learning from the Mondo Shawans that the stones are inside of Plava Laguna's possession, General Monroe, who in my opinion looks like an older version of Owen Wilson before Owen Wilson got old, Corbin Dallas's former superior recommissions Dallas and orders him to travel undercover to meet Plava Laguna on a luxury intergalactic cruise, and then Corbin takes Lilu with him. Meanwhile, Cornelius instructs David to prepare the ancient temple design to House of Stones and then stow away on a space plane transporting Dallas to the cruise liner. Now, the issue with this whole scene is, right, even in 20, whenever this damn thing takes place, do you honestly believe 4 people could walk up claiming they're the same person? Right?
For real. And
then, furthermore, the same dude that the police had arrested earlier, thinking that it was Corbin, and then the Zorg guys take him, and now you have one of their guys pretty much disguised as him. So when he's getting pissed and his face starts to change, that doesn't scare you? That doesn't bother you? What?
Wait. I think we skipped the scene.
Did we?
The scene where the Zorg and the priest have a meeting. Where Cornelius and Zorg have a meeting, and Zorg is choking on a cherry.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Do tell.
Well, I think it was after. I think it's after he blows up the Maglagors, or thinks he kills them. Mm-hmm. He asks his assistant, Tricky, to set up a meeting with the priest. Yeah, it's Tricky to go ahead.
This
and
became a hood movie
meeting.
Really quickly. Tricky!
So Cornelius gets pulled from his apartment to meet with Zorg without any options to say no.
Right.
And then when he gets a meeting with him, Zorg basically is confronting him to tell him, like, where the stones at? Cornelius is basically saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And then Zorg sort of justifies this whole concept of chaos and order and how it's necessary that he needs the stones because it's going to do well for him as a business.
Right.
So then he's talking this stuff while he's drinking some water, and he gets a cherry in his mouth, and then he starts choking. He starts pressing all these gadgets, and he has this funky little pink elephant pet that looks just like his matching top. And Cornelius is there pausing because this dude is choking and basically telling him that everything he's saying is full of shit because he's saying all this stuff could save his ass, but his fucking elephant can't. And then pats him on the back to save Zorg's life. And then Zorg lets basically Cornelius go for the moment because he saved his ass.
But yeah, I thought that was such a cold line because
so I'll let you live.
So I'll let you live for now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now on the plane, we get our first glimpse of the metrosexual himself, the gayest straight man ever, Ruby Rod.
Not the gayest straight man, though.
Played excellently, brilliantly by Chris Tucker. What's your first impression of Ruby Rod, Kay?
Man, I thought he was gay.
Okay.
Come on, Dallas! He had that long ass front ponytail that stood straight out like an eraser.
It looked like something like you play with in the pool.
A cheetah. It was like a cheetah print he was rocking.
Cheetah print leotard.
I was like, this dude gay as hell. But,
all night long.
Really, the comedy. He kept the comedy flowing.
The whole
I want to know if he did
scene
that off script
because he's going so fast, and he's just all over the place. Then you got super stale face Bruce Willis, and Chris Tucker is just owning the scene, and in that one scene you get who Ruby Rod is. He's like an MTV VJ kind of. And he's one of the most popular dudes out there.
Radio host.
Mm-hmm. And he let's be real. Well, he's obviously not gay because he has, the makeout session with the chick on the plane. But he's very metro. Very metro. Like,
metro.
Very metro. Like,
that's your first experience. If you've never seen a metrosexual, Fifth Element shows you your very first impression of one.
Man, it's called Prince.
That is true.
True.
Prince is wearing assless chaps. So,
right.
I mean, if that ain't borderline, I don't know what it is.
You also got to think Prince lived in the era of that. This is after that era has ended and died out. We in the era of crop colors. I'm saying Prince wasn't on the radio doing radio talk show.
So
and Bruce Willis didn't make his show.
Wait a minute, what year was the assless chaps though? What year was the Video Music Awards for the assless chaps? That was in the 90s.
It wasn't like 92, 93.
Yeah, I was thinking 92, 93.
Assless chaps, yeah, absolutely.
Singing "Get Off."
Get off. The perfect song for Ashley Chaps, I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah.
So, Once they've cut to okay, well, no, I'm going too far. The first time he asked Corbin to like speak on, that he won the Foster Paradise Challenge, when he throws up the mic and he like smacks the chick behind him like out the camera.
Yeah.
Like, where did he hit her at? And did he hit her that hard where she like went through the door?
Mm-hmm.
Pop it, D man. Ah! Like, whoa, how'd that happen?
Man, he was killing me doing his talking though. Like, come on, man, say something more.
He's
He was like,
thrilled.
And the other part that was killing me was Ruby Rod, Yes Man. They were killing me.
They were killing me.
Yes.
They was kissing so much ass. It was ridiculous.
I loved it. It was green.
Like, green like what?
Money green.
Whatever kind of green you like.
I was like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
So Corbin finds his way to the to his hotel room, and he finds out that he already has tickets to the Diva concert, and he wants to know, do you guys have something I could wear? And it was so bossy. She pressed one button, and like 15 suits came out. I'm like, if that's the future, I can't wait, because that's just so bossy. I mean, that's bossy. I like that.
Definitely. So those suits came out the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I want one.
I want one.
And then you got the introduction of the diva herself, Miss Flava Laguna, going into her room while Corbin's getting dressed, and somebody goes over to the Fifth Element and tell her, we're glad you're here. Stay in your room. We'll give you the songs after the show. Then we jump to the theme of the show, don't we? That's the next. The show is.
You got the Mr. Shadow that calls Lord.
And then Zorg like bleeds, sweats, or something like that.
Hey, anybody notice that the bleeding though was like in the middle of the forehead? Like the sheen didn't sound like the blood comes from the top of the head, but then when he's wiping it, it's like the middle of his forehead.
Yeah.
But if you pay attention, he was bleeding before he even got the call. It just kind of started running down more. Like, it started bleeding. If you look at the scene, right before he answers the phone, if you look at the top of his head, where his hair is, it's already bleeding.
I never noticed that.
And then while he's on the phone, it starts running down faster. So I don't know who poured something in his head to make it run down faster, but it definitely was already bleeding.
No, I'm with Bella.
Whose idea with the wide shot and then telling them, can we get a little more to the top, please? Before you did the wide shot?
Cut. Can you please pour the damn blood from the top of his head, please? Because I'm with Lay. When I saw that scene and the blood begins to come down his forehead, but he wipes it off, it's almost like it started at the nose, but it came from the top. And I was like, are you bleeding weird? Like, what am I missing there?
Why is it so thick?
Why is it so thick and clear? I don't know.
Strawberry jam?
That's a hell of a dye. That's a hell of a dye.
It's like a 2-month-old Hershey strawberry syrup bottle that just went bad a long time ago. Let's pour this on Zorg to see how he feels about it. But so after that scene, and basically whatever Shadow said, you can never quite make out what Shadow says to him, because he like at first he is like, you can hear him, he's cohesive, but for some reason when the music kicks in and the effects kick in with with the sweat blood, it's almost like he's talking dirty to Zorg. We just don't know what he's saying. So whatever he says, it was obviously it's effective, because Zorg is scared shitless.
Dangerous.
Now
it was dangerous.
It was dangerous, but to us it sounded like so now we get the iconic scene to me, which is the actual opera performance by Flava Laguna. And I'm gonna tell you right now,
let me tell you, that's iconic to everybody. If you've ever watched this movie, that's the main thing that resonates with anybody that's watched it.
Yes.
Her opera song is off the chain. Like, you can listen to that anywhere and know, oh man, somebody watching this song. It just pops out.
I have a confession to make. Remember when when cell phones were like really getting popular, and you could like record an audio from your phone and take that same audio and like make it a ringtone.
Or ringtone.
So I had the one of the original Nokias, you know, the brick phones, right?
Right.
And I think I was watching The Fifth Element, and I made sure, like, I worked on it for like an hour, and I finally had got the cue for the song, right? So, but my ringtone goes off at the second part of the song, which is getting funky, right?
Which is start pop locking.
We start pop locking, yeah. So imagine me, in late middle school, and somebody calling me, like, oh, Fifth Element, right? Hell yeah, you know what it is. So just a little confession for you, real quick. Just let it play. Like, I know who's calling. I could have been said hello, but bro, let that shit ride, bro. That's my shit right there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure everybody that had them ringtones they loved so much, they didn't answer the phone just because they wanted to hear it.
You know what I'm saying?
I just want to hear the start.
I'm gonna start real quick, and I promise I'll call him right back. Like, that nigga been hung up, bro. What you mean? So now the opera has not taken place, and but the camera cuts back to Lilu because all the henchmen are in this thing, and then she's cutting back to what took place. I guess that made her lose her arm, or you know, the attack on her planet. And that's when we get like the coolest blending of music and action because she's thinking back to what happened, and the song that the diva is singing is kind of reminiscent of how she's feeling, right? But when she starts to feel like I'm about to go in there and kick these asses real quick, the diva's whole vibe changes, and that's when the beat drops, right? When the beat drops, she kicks open the door. Then the camera cuts back to the diva, and the diva swaying back and forth like, oh shit, she's starting to feel it. And the camera goes back to Lilu. She's beat motherfuckers up, and it's fantastic. And then the diva goes right into the hip hop Prince version of the song. And I love how the camera work between these two things are blending, because by the time Lilu starts to like really kick ass, we get the like she starts pop locking it. I'm like, yo, that scene is so dope. That scene is so dope. Like, I never envisioned a scene like that to be that effective. I'm like, I think if this came out in 2017, that scene wouldn't have been as effective.
Yeah,
I don't think it would. In 2017, like look at this corny shit.
Yeah. It's so corny to me, and I still laugh.
It's corny as hell, but I thoroughly enjoy the scene. Cause like, not only that, she's flapping her arms like she at the club right now. I love that scene. I still love that scene. It's a great scene. And then of course,
that's everybody's favorite. That's everybody's favorite scene.
Once she wraps up the actual song, Lilu's done kicking ass. They both take a bow. That's a great scene.
Yeah, it's a real good scene.
It's a great scene.
So after that, you got after the Zorgs, see Lilu knocking other Zorgs out. Oh, is that their name? What are they called?
The Maglagor?
Magalores.
Magalores.
They see them. They see Lilu knocking them out the door, and they think it's an ambush, so they decide to take over. Now here comes another great action scene. The takeover. That's how I put it in my notes. The takeover, because they went in and deboed the whole ship. First off, let me say how disappointed I was, because I definitely thought Lost in Paradise was a planet and not just a cruise ship in space.
Okay, that's basically what it is.
I was like, really?
It's a cruise ship in space.
That's all it is. But they did the takeover, and you got Chris Tucker, Ruby Rod, in his most metro ever, because he got this black leotard with roses around the collar, screaming like a female, high pitched scream. And
Corbin. Corbin, my man, Corbin.
While Corbin is taking out these stones, he holding the gun, and Corbin done scared him, so he done shot the Magaloid and screamed again. And the favorite part of this whole takeover for me is when he gets to the control room, when Corbin gets to the control room.
Oh, that's boss man.
And he asks, he's like, Debo is like, I hope he was like, he's supposed to keep this quiet. And the general was like, all right, he's a professional. He'll get it under wraps. He goes in and do the negotiation. Anybody else in the negotiation?
He's like,
That
nah.
was my favorite scene.
Nah,
That was
nah.
my favorite scene right there. Like, it was so boss the way he walked in. Wow. Anybody else want to negotiate?
So we did skip a small part because we definitely learned that the diva has the rest of the stones in her because she gets shot. So now
She ate him. She a true alien.
and them stones will stick, bro. You never know. She may have a mighty appetite. You know what I'm saying? And has to get it all down there.
I
Who
was
knows?
wondering how they were going to get him out when she didn't get shot. Was she going to shit him out? Was she going to kill herself?
You know, she was about to poop him out. She was about to have the kidney stone.
Ew. Ew.
I got the stones.
I got stones. So Zorg, during the same scene, shoots into the ceiling where Lilu is. Finds out he actually does shoot Lilu, and seriously wounds her as well. And basically, he has the other case. Runs back to the ship, leaving behind the time bomb that forces the Alchemists, to evacuate. Discovering that the case is empty, though, Zorg returns back to the ship, deactivates the bomb, but a dying Mangalore, which I'm gonna assume is Agnot, the guy who I thought was Boris Kojo at first, but turns out it's not Boris Kojo, just a dude that looks a lot like him.
Yeah, I thought it too. I thought he did look like him a little bit.
I'm like, nigga, you have never aged. Good for you, sir. So Agnot, I'm gonna say it's Agnot. I don't care what nobody says. Sets off his own device, destroying the ship and killing Zorg. So at this point, Dallas, Cornelius, Lilu, and Ruby Rod escape with the stones above, on Zorg's spacecraft because Zorg's dead. He's not gonna need it. So, and this always happens in movies. They always think, it cuts back to the president. They're all toasting champagne flutes and all that shit, thinking it's all fine and dandy, and leave it to the one guy in the corner who's not celebrating to let them know we're not out the dark yet. It's more shit coming, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So when they call Corbin to let him know what's going on, Corbin has the perfect answer. He goes, they're set to arrive in 90 minutes. Corbin says, okay, I'll call you in 2 hours. That's G. Because in 2 hours, you're either dead or I actually saved the world. But either way, I'll call you in 2, though.
Mm-hmm.
So
technically, he wouldn't have been on the planet if he didn't speed up. So.
Exactly. So here we are at this last scene. Leigh, you want to take it?
Sure. So now they've gotten down to the Egyptian temple. They've met up with Cornelius' assistant.
David.
They get there. They quickly put Lilu in the middle. Then they open up the stones. Corbin is asking Cornelius, so how exactly does this work? Cornelius is like, I know how it's supposed to work in theory. And so they have to scurry and figure out where the hell to put the stones and what to do. So then they realize each stone has a matching image to its pedestal. Mm-hmm. So they match the stones with the pedestal. Then they're sitting there like, well, so how do we open them? And then like Cornelius again is like, I know in theory. And they're like, what the hell? So each of them are kind of looking around trying to figure out how to take care or how to open up these stones. So then the assistant, feeling like this is it, it's a wrap, he's gonna die, sighs. And all of a sudden one of the stones moves, starts to open. Mm-hmm. So he calls over Corbin. Everybody comes in there like, how did you open? How do you open? And he's like, I don't know. I just said, we're not going to make it. And then nothing happened. Then he sighs again, and then it opens it. Then Corbin realizes, oh, each one is by element, so you have to do it by element.
The element, right?
So, by the elements. So they get the fire. No, sorry, they get the wind. They get the water. They get the earth. Mm-hmm. Then they get to Ruby, and Ruby's like,
Copy. I had a fire.
One. Wait, I ain't got a fire.
I was smoking. If I knew, Father, you smoke.
So Corbin, realizing he has one more match left from his matchbox, approaches the last stone, tells everybody not to breathe, and of course, some motherfucker breathes when he lit the match. And he's like, "Ooh, dumbass, breathe."
Is it David or Ruby?
Some dumbass. They're like, "Ooh." I was like, "I'll slap all of you." So he lights the match. Finally, they got him on. Then he goes to Lilu's like, "Hey, girl, you got to get up." At this point, the dude back at the military section, who was actually acting real calm, mind you. And I don't know what was getting more on my nerves, Lilu not doing her job or the dude doing the countdown.
Yeah, he's so calm. He's so goddamn calm. Why aren't you afraid? You're going to die soon, bro. Yo, I got a job to do, too.
2 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm like, you are content. I would have been, fuck your counting. Fuck all y'all. I'm done.
I'm out. I'll be with the family.
I got 3 minutes left. I'm going to do what I can do to get it in. Fuck this. But he's sitting there real quick, like 3 minutes.
So based on what you said, Lilu earlier, for some reason Google searches war because she didn't know war. But having witnessed and studied so much violence in that little ride, Lilu has become disenchanted with humanity and refuses to cooperate. Now pretty much forcing Dallas to confess his love to her. She doesn't know love. So he has to let her know, I love you. And then you get a quick kiss, and then next thing you know, Lilu is the fifth element. You know, very Jesus-like. And the five elements combined was able to take out that black smoke or whatever the hell it is, planet, whatever. And, of course, everybody's all happy because, you know, they saved the world. So, now, first of all, it's such a tense moment. Of course, Ruby Rod got the best quip to say because David's dumbass goes, yeah! And Ruby goes, what's wrong with you? What you yelling for? Every time somebody yells every 5 minutes, a bomb or something, I'm leaving. Love that part. So that next scene is when now you got President Debo and the whole squad comes by, and they want to see Corbin and Lilu, but unfortunately they're in the chamber, hot, butt naked, sexy. They need some time. So Corbin's mom calls, and the president wants to thank her, but she doesn't think that she's talking to the president. And this is the whole thing. But I love how they passed off the phone like it's like dirty. So it's like, you had that. Take that. And that's how basically the movie ends.
Yeah.
That's how it ends. So that's Fifth Element, 20 years later.
She saved the world for love.
It's corny as hell, but it's like
fuck it.
I like the movie. I do, but it's like you have such a strong kind of fun beginning and a strong almost end, and then you have this moment of like hilarity, and then it's like, oh, they're getting it on inside the fixed quarantine chamber or whatever the hell it's supposed to be.
Lackluster ending.
And then freeze frame, lust, and I was like, she don't know love.
She's an alien.
He could have fixed that shit. He could have been like, I love you, kiss. But you don't even know what a kiss is. So you're like, ooh, kiss? Ah! Let the divine light out. Then he could have been like, bitch, I lied. Look.
I don't love you, how?
I don't love you.
So
I just
appreciate the run.
So let's get the takeaways. Let's knock out takeaways. You are our guest. Who's getting your That Guy award?
Oh, it has to go to Ruby Rod.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Let's go That Chick award.
Lilu. No, actually, you know what? It's usually I say LEBo, but actually I want to give it to the diva.
You know what it is.
The diva. Yeah.
What about your This Fool award?
This fool, tricky.
Because nobody knew.
It's tricky. Plus, how you get your ass blown up at the station?
Because you can go on the plane. So, what are you cutting out?
What would I cut out? Damn, what did I cut out from the film? Actually, I don't know what I would cut out.
It's a movie that goes by relatively fast, so I wouldn't really cut out anything.
It goes so fast. But yeah, I don't think there's anything to cut out.
All right, well...
I mean, I don't know.
What about your iconic scene?
My iconic scene would be, the scene between the diva singing and LEBo fighting.
Yes. Kay Williams.
Like the nonsense.
Who's getting your That Guy award?
That guy, man, definitely is gonna be. I'm with Lay on this one. Ruby, right?
Come on, that ass.
The way you got to think, man. Even through all his metrosexuality, man, all the women loved him.
Yeah.
When he was on his way to Floston, and the chick was like, I'm out. I don't know. I never felt this before. It feels unnatural. She was like, really? He was like,
yes.
Yeah.
So, who's getting your That Chick award?
Man, the diva.
The diva?
Hands down. The movie, man, I don't think the movie would have been any better without the diva. Like, the movie would have just been basic if the diva wasn't in it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she was shortly lived, the diva was a key scene.
True. What do you, who's getting your This Fool award?
Man, I'm giving it to, y'all don't judge me, but I'm giving it to Debo. Sorry. You a fool for playing the president after you got your ass knocked out by a brick. I'm sorry.
By Craig and them.
Craig and them whipped your ass and you got president? What?
Oh my God.
All right. What are you cutting out?
I'm gonna cut anything out, man.
It's hard. Yeah, I know.
It's too many good things to be like, I wouldn't sacrifice any. When it's action packed, the movie flows right through. Like, it goes real quick.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The story itself keeps you in. The story itself keeps you in tune. So.
Yeah, because the story itself is pretty tight. So, iconic scene. Can I sing it?
Diva's opera song.
Yeah, never mind.
And
the what?
The negotiation is my second iconic scene, man.
Okay.
Anybody else want to negotiate?
For me, my That Guy award, there's gonna be a triple thing here. It's gonna go to Ruby Rod, right? Because even before you actually see his face, when his ad pops up on Corbin's TV, even the fucking cat's like, "Who the shit is this?" Like, the cat's eyes is so wide open. Like, what the fuck? Like, this dude is so wild. I rock with Ruby Rod. That Chick award, I was gonna say Lilu, but it's gonna be a 3-way tie again. It's gonna be the diva, because without that scene, I probably wouldn't love this movie as much, because it pops up. It pops up in the most random time. I'm like, and as they're fighting, the diva's getting down, and I rock with that 100%. This Fool award, once again, another 3-way tie. It was gonna go to Father Cornelius, but you realize his mission in the world, so I couldn't give it to him. But it is gonna go to Debo as a president, because I don't think you really know what you're
just
doing as
saying
president.
It makes it funny. Like, you just hear Debo as president. Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm going with Debo as president is what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, nah. Cut that out. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'll cut that out. Debo as president. That's good for me.
Hey man, that's comedy.
It serves the story. Comedy. It serves the story. I just don't think Debo need to be president. That could be played by anybody.
That's why he didn't get a lot of time.
That could have been Booker T or some shit, but not Debo. Nah, man, nah. Iconic scene. Going back with you, three-way tie. The diva, opera, hip hop, dance, Prince breakdown thing. I love that scene. It's a great scene. So we got one more thing to do. We got a few minutes left in the show. Let's get into quick hits before we wrap up the show. So quick hits. You guys ready for quick hits?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go.
So let's do it. The divine language spoken by Lilu was invented by director Luc Besson and further refined by Mila Jovovich, who had little trouble learning and developing it, as she was already fluent in 4 languages. The language had only 400 words. He and Mila held conversations and wrote letters to each other in the language as practice. By the end of filming, they were able to have full conversations in this language, a language that they made up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Taking over the world.
That's dope.
Taking over the world.
Yeah, that's real cool.
The hero, Corbin Dallas, and the villain, Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg, never meet, nor do they communicate with each other in any way. They are, in fact, unaware of each other's involvement. When I saw that fact, and I watched the movie again, I'm like, they damn sure done no damn scene together. They don't even know about each other.
No.
Huh. That's a very interesting way of telling a story.
Yeah.
Luc Besson wrote the original screenplay when he was in high school. He had conceived the story of the film and invented the world of the film as a child, so he can escape his lonely childhood. He began writing the script when he was only 16, though it was not released in cinemas until he was 38.
Damn.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, your life must have been screwed, bro, to think about this weird shit. I'm just saying. When the president tells Father Vito Cornelius he has 20 seconds to state his point, Vito talks for exactly 20 seconds.
That's great.
That's actually pretty cool.
Somebody actually counted he talks for exactly 20 seconds. When filming began, the production decided to dye Mila Jovovich's hair from its natural brown color to her character's signature orange color. However, due to the fact that her hair had to be re-dyed regularly to maintain the bright color, Mila's hair quickly became too damaged and broken to withstand the dye. Eventually, a wig was created to match the color and style of Lilu's hair and was used for the remainder of the production.
It's like, why didn't you just do that from the beginning?
Yeah, why didn't you do that from jump? You know,
why didn't you just do that from
That's
jump?
that girl hair.
Save my hair.
Shit. According to the Ultimate Edition DVD, Prince and Lenny Kravitz were sources of inspiration for the part of Ruby Rhod. Both were even considered for the role as well, with Prince being the first choice for the role of Ruby Rhod. Can you imagine if Prince played Ruby Rhod instead of Chris Tucker?
I kept thinking about that, and my first thought was that it wouldn't. Prince is funny. Now, number one, Prince is actually very hilarious.
That's what Lo said.
But it wouldn't be with the same energy, I think.
Right.
It would be more suave.
Not a plan.
Right, he'd have been more suave. Yeah, real cool and chill about it. You know, he wouldn't have that just over exaggeration of the character.
Elizabeth Berkley auditioned for the role of Lilu, but after the failure of Showgirls, studios were reluctant to hire her. You're not a box office draw, baby. Sorry. You're just not. Wow. Poor Berkeley. Showgirls probably the worst thing she could ever do in her career ever. Oh my God.
Listen, but you know what? That is another cult film, though.
To some.
There's that one scene in Showgirls gets me every fucking time.
That pool scene?
I cry tears.
Yep. Nobody fucks in the pool like that. How'd you get that scene? Nobody fucks in the pool like that. If I did that in the pool and she did that, she's dying right now. Like, something's wrong with her.
Why are you splashing so hard?
Why are you splashing so hard? What's wrong with you? Okay. Anyway, moving on. We're off subject. Gary Oldman played Zorg as a cross between then presidential candidate Ross Perot and Bugs Bunny. And now thinking back at it, I see both elements in this Zorg character because he does have a Bugs Bunny mentality and he talks like Ross Perot. So I get it.
I would have never put that shit together. I swear I would have never.
Ross Perot and Bugs Bunny. Make some out of that.
Now that you say it, I gotta laugh. Like,
you can see certain scenes with Bugs Bunny too.
Right.
Especially with like the for now when he's like you say for like for now. And
right.
That part feels very Bugs Bunny-ish.
But the way he talks is definitely a Ross Perot mantra in there for sure. Ruby Rod was not the original name for Chris Tucker's character. It was Lockrod. No, Lockrod. There we go. The original name appears in the script and in the movie's novelization. And final quick hit for the night. The original storyline was set in the year 2300 and was about a nobody named Zaltman Bleros, later renamed to Corbin Dallas, who wins a trip to the Club Med Resort on the planet Floston Paradise. There, he meets Lilu, a sand girl who has the beauty of youth despite being over 2,000 years old. I am so glad they decided to change up that script because I love what we got with this movie. I can honestly say that.
Seriously.
Well, that's
that
it.
would have been a little bit boring.
I know. Yeah, that would have been boring. But that's it, you guys. That's the show. We had too much fun on this damn episode, and we celebrated 20 years of The Fifth Element. Now, before...
I blame Lay for that, man.
Only because of Lay. Because she knew her shit. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, Lay, let the good people know about your upcoming projects, and then let the people know where they can find you.
Yes, to know anything about what I'm doing next, you can always go to my Instagram, and my label is LEBohemian Muse, all one word. And I also have a website at www.lebohemianmuse.com.
Nice. K. Williams, let the good people know where they can find you, bruh.
On all social medias but Facebook, it's PHA1914. On Facebook, I'm on there as KAY Williams. Hit me up, man. I just don't talk too much, personally. I mean, you hit me up, I'll talk to you, though. We can talk about anything.
All right, well, you can reach me on all the social media just at .com. I am Jay Alonzo on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. You talk to me and I'll talk back. The Facebook group, Back to Classics, a movie talk group, is up and running. Just jump on there, join the conversation. You can catch all the podcasts of Back to Classics and the rest of the Beat Network shows simply at beatnetworkonline.com. We got merch. Jump online, get you some merch. And that's it for the show, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. A special shout out to LEBohemian Muse. If you're in the San Francisco area, check out her gallery. It's super dope. And she'll be back. She'll be back with us for another one.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely coming back.
Sure.
Absolutely. And with that being said, this is Back to Classics. I'm Jay Alonzo with my guy,
K. Williams.
We out this thing, y'all. Peace.
Peace.